Good morning, Devils fans. Happy Saturday and happy Devils game day as we're taking on the New York Rangers at the Rock tonight at 7 p.m. Quick reminder if you catch this in the morning, there's an 11 a.m. hockey game. So if you're not like me and have a crazy drive to do today, basically all day hockey for those of you that enjoy that. So, previewing tonight's game versus the New York Rangers, it's going to be very dependent on who is healthy. Is Jack Hughes back in or not? Could be one of the biggest determining factors here. My assumption is probably Timo is going to get the game off, but I'm sure if he is healthy, he wants to be playing in this one, especially given how the last at least game that counted, being the playoffs against the New York Rangers, went. We did play them in preseason, which I'll touch on a little bit, but generally speaking, you really only care about the ones that actually matter. So that would be the end of playoffs, and now our first game against them here in the regular season. So we've talked about this throughout the recent weeks. The Rangers have been playing, at least results-wise, very well. Top of the Metro, one of the best records in the league. And really that comes down to the things that they've really just done well the past couple seasons, where they heavily rely on their power play, second best in the league production-wise, and don't even really have to dig into the numbers on that. They're not really frauds in that area. They've been doing it for multiple seasons now. It's just a very, very scary power play. We did seem to solve it a bit at the tail end or the second half of the playoffs in our matchup against them. But new season, slightly different personnel setup, especially for us. So we'll see if that carries over. My biggest suggestion, and I'm sure the coaches will harp on this, and as always, it doesn't really matter how much you talk about it. It's just actual execution. But stay out of the box versus the Rangers. 5-on-5, they are not the best of teams. They're fairly middling. All the metrics say it. Around 50, either just a hair above or a little bit below that 50% mark across all the different Corsi, Fenwick, expected goals, danger chances, yada yada. They're fairly middling 5-on-5, which they're one of the teams that now year over year has proved they can survive off of that because of the two big reasons: the power play, which we just mentioned, and their other big strength, the goaltending. Now, mostly that has always been Shesterkin in recent years, but somehow, some way, Jonathan Quick has revitalized his career here and is playing some of the most lights out goaltending hockey, at least in the somewhat limited, not so limited sample size he has put together to start this year, especially in the absence of Shesterkin being injured. Really, even their third string goalie is also saving goals above expected. They are just getting phenomenal goaltending top to bottom this season, and it has really helped carry their play along. Because, like I said, they're actually bleeding more chances, generally speaking, against than they are producing throughout an entire game. It's just their power play produces at an insane rate, just, like I said, second in the league, down below us. And so between stellar goaltending, stellar power play, they can weather middling 5-on-5 play. So what's that mean for us in our matchup against them? Well, we're actually a really good 5-on-5 team still. I know a lot of Devils fans still don't want to believe that, but it is the case. We do drive play in the right direction for the most part in most games. Our issue has always been the one brain lapse defensive breakdown that gives up like one really good high quality chance that always finds its way into the back of the net. For a lot of other teams, you might give up that one chance, but you get the really big save. And we did get a couple of those in the last game from VTech in Pittsburgh. But I have a feeling that we're going to end up going with Schmidt tonight because Lindy does love his goalie versus specific opponent matchups. VTech basically has never lost. I don't think he's ever lost. At least he hasn't as a Devil to Pittsburgh. So we play him in Pittsburgh. Akira has always played insanely well against the Rangers, so he probably gets the start, even though VTech just had a really good game on the last outing. We'll see if Lindy makes me a liar there, but that's kind of just been the general direction how he likes to do his goaltending. So my assumption is that will continue to hold true. One other thing, I mentioned the Jack injury being a big one for us. Fox, if he is able to be back, I believe still he is likely not returning for this one. I've heard whispers that he might. There's nothing as of this morning. Neither team is doing a morning skate at all today, so we will not get any information until, at least from Lindy, until 5 o'clock for media availability, and then really we'll probably still get game time decision even at that point, maybe not, and then actually getting the line rushes heading into the games around what is that, 6:30 ish. We should be getting those. So to cover a bit more on the Rangers. So like I said, 5-on-5, fairly middling. The guys you do need to look out for is going to be Artemi Panarin's line. Him and Lafreniere have actually played very well together. There's really four names offensively speaking that stick out. It is Panarin who is having a howitzer of a year. 24 points for 16 games, something like that, or whatever he's at, 26 and 16. It's something insane. Panarin is absolutely popping off. Lafreniere has been a big beneficiary of that. He's not doing anything crazy himself as far as driving play goes, but it's really just one of those. Panarin gives him tap ins, and Lafreniere is finding himself in the right spots and is playing very well off Panarin. So you don't want to take too much away from him, but it's really the Panarin show. So if we can shut him down, that would do a lot to stifling the Rangers' offensive production. Kreider is still doing the Kreider things on the power play. Most of his production coming from that. Over half of his goals coming from power play goals. We saw what he did in the playoffs to us. We know what he can do. He's been doing it for years now. That's his bread and butter. Again, stay out of the penalty box against the Rangers, and you're giving yourself a much better chance to win. The other thing, even if you do manage to keep the Rangers out of the penalty boxes, they're getting these stellar goaltending. So a lot of teams don't have the game breakers. Not every team has a McDavid, a McKinnon, a Matthews, a Kyle Connor even. So those type of guys are the ones that beat the goalies of Shesterkin's ilk, or even Quick the way he is playing this season. A lot of teams don't have that. So when you don't have a true game breaker that can break through a goalie that is just playing out of his mind, it is very hard to score, even if you are controlling most of the play 5-on-5. That's why Jack Hughes being back, especially if Nico and Timo are out, it would have to be the Toffoli show if Jack is not here. But if we have Jack, we know how much he loves playing against the Rangers and how much he produces against the Rangers. So really, I do think that would be a huge swing if he is in this one. And my guess is he is going to be. Nothing official yet, obviously, again, but that's obviously what we're all hoping for. And yeah, I'll caveat that with Jack. Every time he has returned from an injury, minor or not as minor, he has had slower starts. We'll see what that means. I know he has been skating and going full bore. I think trying to get himself to full game readiness coming back for this Rangers one. So, we'll just analyze it as it happens and see how it goes. But if it is a slower game for Jack getting back into it, don't go full doomer, even though some of you are absolutely going to go full doomer. The Rangers penalty kill. It's actually mid. Now, actually, from a PK percentage basis, I think they are top 10 in the league. A lot of that's going to do with their goaltending. They do give up a decent amount of chances, but not a ton of high quality. So they're going to give up a lot of medium and low danger. Medium is where we thrive, at least when we have Jack back on the ice. So that's where we really need to take advantage, is using those medium danger chances that they do give up a lot on the penalty kill, and just finding the back of the net that way, because they really don't give you the chances for the high danger stuff, which we actually are okay with. We are more of a medium danger chance team than just trying to flourish off of high danger stuff. So we can definitely play around that. So stay out of the box. Pepper the net with more medium danger chance type shots on the when we're on the power play. And 5-on-5, we should be able to control play. Last thing I really want to talk about with the Rangers, yes, the top six is playing fairly well. Cheeto is likely to be out, it sounds like, and Lindgren is likely to be back in for tonight for them. So Trocheck is likely going to end up between Panarin, or again, going to be with Panarin and Lafreniere. That line has been really, really good. The Kreider-Zibanejad line has been quite good. Again, most of their production, though, coming from the power play. They have really not been that scary 5-on-5. They do push play in the right direction, but just from an actual putting the puck in the back of your net standpoint, they haven't been doing anything too crazy. Probably, jinxing herself a little bit, me saying that, but it's just what the numbers have bore out so far for this year. They, as a team, they did start out really strong 5-on-5, and since then, they've kind of become the team we've expected, where their 5-on-5 numbers are just not that great. Last 10 game average, they are below 50% and all that, so we do need to take advantage. But a big part of that is their fourth line. The third line is mid to, just below average, but their fourth line might arguably be the worst line I have looked at of any team we have played this year. Not just, worst fourth line, which generally is going to be your worst line, but just the worst line in hockey I have seen. Their numbers are atrocious. I'm talking like 20-25% chance share, meaning 3 out of 4 times they are having the high danger chances, the expected goals, the Corsi, the Fenwick, all of that against them. So being at home, I like to talk about this a bunch. If you can hem them in and get an icing, and we can get the either the top 6 lines, but preferably if Jack is in, obviously Jack's line out there against them, that's where you take a huge advantage, because oh mama, they are bad. Really, 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 really bad, that fourth line of the Rangers. So we got to take advantage of that. But that's really it. I kind of touched on all the aspects, what to avoid, what to take advantage of. I'm expecting a win tonight if Jack is in. If he's not, it's going to be really close. But still, Devils win every game that I predict. And you guys just know that from me. So let's enjoy the weekend. Started off well. If we get back-to-back wins versus Pittsburgh and the Rangers, I don't know what the Doomers are going to complain about. There won't be much you could really say. So I'll see you guys in the morning as always and forever. Let's go Devils, baby.